Hello everyone, this is JY Leong from Autonics JB office. This video I would like to do introduction and sharing about the proximity sensor of Autonics. So first, let me introduce our cylinder type inductive proximity sensor with a long sensing distance. It is PRD series. For your information, this series is Autonics General's cylinder types inductive proximity sensors. So first, we have a look at this left-hand side of this picture. It is PRD series. It's a cable type models. And then at the middle is a PRD-CM series. It's a connector type models. And then the last one at my right hand side is a PRD or PRD-WT series two-wire type cable connector model. This model, the design have high noise resistance and also IP67 protection. So share with you about our application as inspection of detect goods in can food conveyor. Please refer at the bottom of this picture. If certified, that means the proximity sensor will be detect the top cover of this tuna can, and then it will be giving a signal to the controller. If let's say there is an empty can, they have no signal is given to the conveyor. Next, we would like to introduce our standard cylinder type inductive proximity sensor as a PR series. So the majority difference of PR series and PRD series is the double sensing distance. And then this PR series also have the design as high noise resistant and also it is a IP67 protection. So the application sharing is about the detection of position of the automobile parts during hole drilling process. And next, we would like to introduce for our full metal cylinder type inductive proximity sensor as PRF or PRFA series. So this design is a full metal housing, and then the thickness for this housing is a 0.8 mm, and also we have a sputter resist model, and then lastly it is also is a IP67 protection levels. So sharing about our design for this full metal body ideas. So the material for this full metal body is the standard steel 303, which is designed for robust application and also anti-corrosion and spreading for the bacteria. So this is very useful for the F&B industry, and also you can apply as a chemical process. And then of course, if let's say it's a metalworking, it also working fine. Next, we would like to sharing about a testing that we already done at the factory, which is for the thickness of this metal housing, which is 0.8 mm. And then the two tests we have done, first is an impact test, and then the secondly is a brush test. So let us have a look for this impact test first. The impact weight is 1.3 kg, and then the impact rate is 48 times per minute. Test cycle is 300k cycle, and then the model we are using the 30 mm dimension. Okay, so please refer at this picture at the middle, and then they are showing after 150k cycle the impact. The sensor is looking fine, and then how about at the end achieve of 300k cycle? It is work at normal. So we can say it's a no effect for this 300K cycle of impact test. And then next is a brush test. And then the rotating speed for this brush test is 80 RPM, duration is 3 hours. And then we have a look for the picture. After 30 minutes, they have very minor scratches on the surface uh, of this PRF series. And then after the 3 hours, the sensor is still working as normal. Next, we would like to highlight again for a few our special design. So first is a reduced risk of malfunction caused by aluminum chips. As we know, some of our process in our production line, they might conduct or have some aluminum chip, especially some during process. So for this PRF series, we are designed is a non-sticky surface. So it will be don't have those issue for have aluminum chips or any others metal particular stick on the sensor and giving you a fault signal. Secondly, it is a oil resistant PVC cable. It will be anti-collision. If let's say your environment is very oily or maybe it is contains with a hydraulic fluid. And then next we will introduce for our this PRFA series. This is we have this PTFE coating, which is prevent welding sputter from sticking on the sensor and give you a fault signal. Next, the indicator is a ring type. So you can just have a multiple viewing angle for the detection result. And then lastly, it is a IP67 protection structure. So for your information, our strongly recommended PRF series is can be applied for those FMB application. It's because of most of the FMB application or process that have a cleaning process. So our sensor of PRF series is IP67, so it's totally no problem. And then for the PRFA, we are strongly recommended for those welding process is because of we have the special coating and can behave of the sticky on the sensor surface and give you a fault signal. If let's say you have application would like to implement or apply our full metal cylinder type industry proximity sensor, but you need a longer sensing distance, then you can select or apply for our PRFD series. Next, we are sharing about our cylinder type capacity proximity sensors as a CR sensors. For your application, some of this process we would like to detect non-metal object. So we can refer for this application. If let's say you would like to do the counting for the milk box, you can apply for our CR sensors. CR series proximity sensor is because of this CR sensor is detect non-metal object as maybe it's a carton box, glass, acrylic, or plastic. So next, we would like to introduce our rectangular inductive proximity sensors. Some of this our design, mechanical design, we would like to apply a square type or maybe a rectangle type of proximity sensor, so that we can select for this PS and PSN series. If let's say your application have a space limit request, you can apply our PSN FI series is because of the thickness of this sensor is just 10 mm. Lastly, let me introduce for our AS series. If let's say you have a longer sensing distance for your application, you might apply this AS series. This sensing distance is up to 50 mm. So thank you very much. This is all my sharing for Autonics proximity sensor product.